Shabbat Shalom, welcome. Please join us in singing Shalom Aleichem, welcoming the Shabbat angels. The words to Shalom Aleichem can be found on page 323 in your prayer books. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Shalom Aleichem Malachi Hasharet Malachi Elyon Melech Malachi HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ruachem Leshalom Malachi HaShalom Malachi Elyon Melech Malachi HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 Barechuni leshalom Malachi hashalom Malachi Elyon Melech Malachi HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Etchem leshalom Malachi hashalom Malachi Elyon Melech Malachi HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Ya la 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 ya la la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la la la
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's so good to see so many of you here. Thank you all for braving the traffic to be with us for Shabbat this evening. This past week, we moved into the Hebrew month of Kislev, which marks the darkest moment in our calendar. As you can see, it's dark outside early. We have longer, slightly colder nights to face us. And our tradition teaches us that in the depths of the winter and these long nights, that we can always find a sense of light and find a sense of hope. We do that with Shabbat. We do that with being together. And we also tonight will honor some special pillars of light within our community. So tonight we're going to honor the Honorable Judge Steve Leifman with the Pursuer of Justice Award. As well as join together in honoring the work of all of our Amendment 4 volunteers. So in that spirit of spreading light and bringing light, we're going to sing together joyfully. First, we're going to bring in our Shabbat light. So another form of light is the excitement of someone becoming a bat mitzvah in our Jewish community. So I want to invite up Nora and her family to kindle our Shabbat lights as we turn to page 2.
Eloheinu melech haolam קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Turn to page 5 for the Kiddush, which Nora will lead us in. Should be your first page.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu. Zikaron lema'ase bereshit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'beratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. Chaim. Amen. Drink the wine. Beautiful, Nora.
As they are enjoying their l'chaim and finding their way back to their seats, we wish Nora such a hearty mazel tov, the first of many. She's going to be incredible tomorrow. Thank you so much. We continue singing joyously together with Psalm 96 on page 13, excuse me. The Hebrew words can be found in your prayer book, and there'll be some additional English words as well. We invite you to join along.
Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Shiru, shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash. Shiru, shiru l'Adonai, kol haaretz. Yalla la, yalla la la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la, yalla la la, yalla la 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 la, la. Join me, yalla la, yalla la la, yalla la 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 la, la. Yalla la, yalla la la, yalla la 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 la, la. Yalla la la, yalla la ya, la. Yalla la ya, yalla la ya, yalla la la. Yalla la la, ya la la ya la, ya la la ya la la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la ya la la la, ya la 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 ya la. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya ya la la ya ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya ya la la ya ya la la ya ya la 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 ya la la la. Sing a song, sing a new song to our God. Sing a song of joy and praise. Sing it out, oh sing it long. Ya la la ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la.
We continue receiving Shabbat in our midst with Lecha Dodi, which can be found on pages 20 and 21. We'll pray together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and rise on the final verse to greet Shabbat.
Ay, 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 Lecha Dodi. Ay, 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 לקראת כלה. Ay, 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 פני שבת. Ay, 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 נקבלה. Ay, 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 Lecha Dodi. Ay, 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 לקראת כלה. Ay, 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 פני שבת. Ay, 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 נקבלה. שמעו וזכרו בדיבור אחד. ישמיענו אל המאוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ושמו לתפארת ולתהילה. איי 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 Lecha Dodi. איי 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 לקראת כלה. איי 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 פני שבת. איי 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 נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה. תמקו הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. איי 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 Lecha Dodi. איי 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 לקראת כלה. איי 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 פני שבת. איי 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 נקבלה. בואי ושלום. התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. איי 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 Lecha Dodi. איי 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 לקראת כלה. איי 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 פני שבת. איי 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 נקבלה. את בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה איי 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 לך דודי איי 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 לקראת כלה איי 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 בני שבת איי 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 נקבלה איי 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 לך דודי איי 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 לקראת כלה איי 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 בני שבת איי 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 נקבלה.
We remain standing and turn to page 28 for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship.
Yai ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la la לעולם ועד המבורך לעולם ועד לעולם ועד.
You may be seated. We turn to page 32, and I'll ask you to join me in the English of Ahavat Olam at the bottom of the page. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen. I'll invite Nora back up to lead us in the Shema on pages 34 and 35, followed by the Ve'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvchol nafshecha uvchol meodecha vehayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anochi mesavecha hayom al levavecha veshinantam levanecha vedibarta ba'am בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לי תותפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Beautiful job, Nora. You know, every student we work with is unique and special in their own way, and Nora is one of the most inquisitive and kind preteens that I've ever met. So we're all looking forward to tomorrow. You're going to do a beautiful job. We turn now to page 40 for Micha Mocha, our Song of Freedom.
This next setting comes to us from the Galilee area in Israel. It's composed by Rabbi Or Zohar and his wife Felicia. And a reform innovation in our liturgy is to add Miriam next to Moses as the ones who witnessed the miracle that the people of Israel just experienced. And in the Israeli Reform Prayer Book, we find another slight tweak of the text, which adds vnotecha to vanecha. So it's not just the sons who've witnessed the miracle, but also the daughters. So this setting incorporates both vanecha uvnotecha. I'm going to sing it to you once. Feel free to repeat after me, and we'll sing it a couple more times in the remaining weeks of this secular year. Mi chamocha ba'elim, Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Let's try it. Here we go. Mi chamocha ba'elim, Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh. Noa tehilot osef ele, Noa tehilot osef ele, Noa tehilot, Noa tehilot osef ele, Noa tehilot osef ele. מלכותך ראו בניך, ראו בנותיך, בוקע הים לבני משה ומרים, תליענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים, מי כמוך נדע בקודש. נוע תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה.
Our tradition, as we just heard in Micha Mocha, reminds us that we must fight for the freedom and dignity of others, as we were once slaves in the land of Egypt. So tonight we honor the hard work and dedication of members of our community who have fought for freedom of reproductive choice in our state. So right now, I'd like to invite up any of the members of our community who have took on a leadership role, who have participated in all of our Amendment 4 efforts. I'd like to invite all of you to come join me on the bima. Come on up. Come all the way up. All the way up. Don't be shy. Make room for everyone. So tonight we honor over 100 volunteers. This is a small smattering of that group and really the solid leadership of that group. Volunteers within our community who spent the last 18 months fighting for reproductive justice in Florida, advocating for women's rights to make personal healthcare decisions over their bodies. Your tireless effort on behalf of Amendment 4, even in the face of many great challenges, reflects the deep values of justice and humanity that our tradition holds dear. You all were led by Myra Spindell, Barbara Gelber, and Robin Samuels, who worked on a campaign unlike any other that we have seen within our state. You collected petitions, you knocked on doors, you wrote postcards, you made phone calls, you stood outside of grocery stores and in the street, teaching your neighbors and advocating for votes, all in the name of saving women's lives. Though the outcome might not have been what we had hoped for, the effort itself is a reflection of the divine spark that each of you carries, a spark that drives you to stand up for those whose voices are silenced, for those who are vulnerable. We learn in Pirkei Avot, the ethics of our teachers, that it is not your responsibility to finish the work, but neither are you free to desist from it. In that spirit, may you be blessed with strength and resilience, knowing that the seeds of change have been planted and that the long arc of the moral universe yet bends towards justice. May you find comfort in the knowledge that the work you have done has made a difference in ways we may not yet fully understand, and that your efforts have inspired others to take on the mantle of leadership and change. May you continue to stand on the shoulders of giants who came before you, united in your commitment to tzedek v'cherut, to justice and freedom. May our community always be a place where such righteous work is honored and supported, and may you feel the strength and love of this community as you continue the holy work of repairing the world. Adonai Tzevaot, God on high, bless these volunteers who have worked with courage, strength, and bravery. May you be granted peace, hope, and the continued conviction to work for a future where all people are treated with the dignity they deserve. Together we say, Amen. And we bless you in the ancient words of our priestly benediction.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
Ken Yehi Ratzon, may God bless you and keep you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
Ken Yehi Ratzon, may God's light shine upon you and may God be gracious to you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
Ken Yehi Ratzon, may God's presence fill you always, and may you find a lifetime of shalom, a lifetime of wholeness, and a lifetime of peace.
We sing together. Amen.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
We continue now in joyous celebration of Shabbat as we turn to page 44 for Vishamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, ולעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. וביום השני שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, ולעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
We have reached the moment of our Amidah, our Tefillah, our standing prayer, when we have the opportunity to be in conversation with God, the universe, that which is greater than ourselves. So we'll join together on page 46 to begin, and I invite you to please rise as we follow along on the even pages.
Adonai sefata tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בגבורות, ומדור מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן נטל החיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You continue silently utilizing the words in your heart or the words in your prayer book. The Amidah goes until page 62. When you're finished with your prayers, you may be seated.
This Shabbat, we read Vayetze from the Torah, and this is a story of Jacob fleeing for his life after stealing his brother Esau's blessing and having this famous dream of a ladder that reaches from the heavens to the earth. So several years ago, I had the pleasure of studying with the former, well, now the deceased chief rabbi of England, Lord Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, may he rest in peace, here in Miami. And he told this remarkable story, which I've shared with some of you before, but it's one of my favorite stories, so I'm sharing it again. And it's about an experience he had coming home from Yitzhak Rabin's funeral in 1995, almost 30 years ago. Rabbi Sacks was invited to go to Israel as a dignitary, and because of that, he traveled on the Queen's plane with Tony Blair and Prince Charles. And this plane has only 6 passengers, 6 seats, 3 seats facing 3 seats. And it was a very long flight because apparently the Queen's plane takes twice as long as any other airplane. So what does a rabbi do on a long flight? He studies Torah. So he gets out his Mikraot Gedolot, which is a text that has commentaries all around the page, and he begins to study. Now, Tony Blair, who is a religious man, was looking over his shoulder and started asking him questions. "Can you teach us some Torah?" Tony Blair asked Rabbi Sacks. Prince Charles also got interested and got up out of his seat to look at the text with him. So there Rabbi Sacks sat, teaching the future King of England and the future Prime Minister of England Torah. And at the end of the flight, at the end of the lesson, Tony Blair asked him, "How come your text is so much more interesting than our text?" And Rabbi Sacks thought about it for a minute, and he said, "In Christianity, the highest achievement is reaching heaven, whereas in Judaism, the highest achievement is bringing heaven here to earth." Tonight, we honor somebody who truly models what it means to bring heaven to earth. Through his vision, his Herculean efforts, and unwavering tenacity, he has designed a strategy and model for keeping people with mental illness who are so often marginalized in our world out of prisons and jails, and instead in a place where they can be rehabilitated. The Miami Mental Health and Recovery Center. And hopefully, this first of its kind facility in the entire world will open in the first few months of 2025, after about 16 years of planning, working, convincing, fundraising by Judge Leifman. Tonight, we are awarding the Dr. Solomon and Muriel Lichter Rodef Tzedek Award, which means Pursuing Justice Award, named for these 2 righteous individuals who served our community as advocates for the unhoused, providing nourishment, healthcare, and dignity to this population. And it's so gratifying to me to know that Judge Leifman knew them and worked alongside them in their justice work. So you truly understand the significance of this award. I always said Dr. Lichter was one of the 36 tzaddikim, one of the 36 righteous people. And I'm so pleased that the Lichter's son, David, and daughter-in-law, Myra, are here tonight to honor both their parents' legacy and Judge Leifman. This award has been given only 5 other times in 10 years. Actually, one of the recipients is here tonight, the Friedmans, who received it for their outstanding work in Mazon. It's for people who have made an exceptional contribution to our society outside the walls of our synagogue. Steve, we are so proud that you are a member of our synagogue and are truly honored to present to you a symbolic check for $613 for the Miami Mental Health Center. And it's my pleasure to call you up to share some remarks with the congregation. And this is,
Oh, beautiful.
isn't it?
Yes.
I have
Shabbat Shalom.
I also just want to say we're so happy to have his mom here who's kvelling. She has so much to kvel about.
Shabbat Shalom. Congratulations to Nora and her family. I remember my bar mitzvah many, many years ago. The significance will never leave you. To the Amendment 4 team, God bless all of you. And don't give up. Trust me, this project has taken over 20 years. I'm so thrilled to have my mom here, my very dear friends, my former chief judge, wonderful colleague, and so many friends that are here. I also want to thank David and his wife for being here as well. As the rabbi mentioned, I started here as a member when I was an assistant public defender over 30 years ago and had the honor and privilege to be on the first social action committee that this temple created. And Dr. Lichter and his wife Muriel were incredibly supportive and kind and thoughtful and really helped all of us on a path that all of us need to be on. My journey into the mental health world actually began when I was 17 years old. I was an intern for then State Senator Bob Graham. And he had received a letter from the then editor of the Miami Herald about a young man who was at the local state hospital in Pembroke Pines, and they were concerned that he was being abused. And I still don't know how or why the senator would send a 17-year-old kid to a state hospital to investigate, but they did. And I kind of chuckled because I wouldn't let my 21-year-old go there now. But I walked in through these doors, and it changed my life. And it was everything you saw on every horror movie that had to do with state hospitalization, like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I found the young man that I was there to see. He was in all 4-point restraints. He was probably 100 pounds overweight from the Thorazine that they were injecting him with. And he was screaming and crying and moaning, and it was horrifying. It was way before what we call HIPAA, privacy rights. So they allowed me to look at his records. I had no idea what I was looking at. But I noticed one thing that stunned me. It said that he was autistic. He wasn't even psychotic. And it's part of the reasons we shut down these hospitals. But while I was there, it turned out there was a group of advocates that were there to check out the hospital. And when they heard there was a representative from a legislator's office, albeit a 17-year-old with no power and no knowledge or wisdom, they insisted that I take a tour of the hospital. And they brought me downstairs to what I remember vividly like yesterday, a dungeon where 7 men lie naked in their own feces while a guard stood there with a hose and washed them down like animals in a zoo. And it was probably my trauma, and it's probably why I ended up doing what I do. 17 years later, I was appointed to the bench. That hospital was closed, and those same people, or those same types of people that were tortured in the state hospital were now being tortured in my jail across the street. And I will tell you, none of us go into this profession to be part of a problem. We're there to try to solve a problem. My uncle was a rabbi, and he did the invocation for my investiture. And he talked about that great passage in the Torah, justice, justice, we shall pursue. And it talks about the requirements of judges. And it was a thought that never left me. And when I encountered cases where I was releasing people, floridly psychotic, imminently dangerous, back to the street, I just couldn't imagine why and how could we be judges with any moral authority by allowing it. I told this story, and I'm not going to get into it now because I only have 10 minutes. But I had a case where the defendant turned out to be a Harvard-educated psychiatrist who had had a late onset of schizophrenia. And the law is so bad in Florida as it pertains to this population, I was forced to release him back to the street. But it changed the way we looked at this situation. And thanks to my chief judge at the time, Joel Brown, who allowed me to do what I wanted to do in this arena, we were able to bring all of the stakeholders together to change the dynamic. I will tell you, one of the best things about being a judge is that when we invite people to meetings, they come. And so I invited all of the traditional and non-traditional stakeholders to a 2-day meeting to map out the intersection between criminal justice and mental health, and to develop a strategy that would change how we approach this problem. And thanks to the amazing, wonderful people that work with me in my office and the collaboration we got from the state attorney and the public defender and law enforcement and the courts, we restructured our system so well that it still shocks me today. We reduced the number of arrests in Dade County by more than half, from about 118,000 to 53,000. We reduced the number of people in our jail from about 7,400 to 4,400. And we closed one of our 3 main jails. But more importantly, we've been able to help tens of thousands of people get access to treatment and stay out of our criminal system. We still have a ways to go. And even though our jail audit is half of what it used to be, it is now almost entirely full of people with serious mental illnesses. So bad that the county spends over $1.2 million a day, about $414 million a year, to warehouse 3,500 people with mental illnesses. The more offensive part of that is we spend so much more money to incarcerate people who are ill than to treat them. And I tell you, it just doesn't have to be this way. These people are not dangerous, they're sick. I just got back about 3 weeks ago from Trieste, Italy, where I was part of a delegation to study the Trieste mental health system, because the World Health Organization has determined they have the best mental health system in the world, and they do. There are no homeless. There are very few, if any, people with mental illnesses in their jail. There are few, if any, people in their state hospital with mental illnesses, and few, if any, people in their forensic, which is where people go who have been charged with crimes. And it's not rocket science. They get them housing, they get them medicated, and they case manage them, and they find them jobs. We do just the opposite. This new center that the rabbi mentioned is to help fill a void, because when we created our community mental health system in the United States, the most acutely ill with the psychotic disorders were still in hospitals. And so the community mental health system in America is for people with moderate mental illnesses, not acute. And so when we shut the hospitals down, which we have from about 550,000 beds to about 25,000 beds today, and we went to the war on crime and drugs, and we did sentencing guidelines, and we massively cut back housing, we threw this population into communities that was not built for them. And in a great American fashion, we blamed them and threw them in jail. But we're moving in the right direction. And this building will be built for that most acutely ill, that homeless population that continuously cycles. And we know for sure that once we get it open, we will probably get to functional zero homeless in Dade County. And we will create a system that all of us can be proud of and reach the highest ideals of our religion. So What makes me so proud to be here today is not so much to get a wonderful award, but for you putting attention and shining a light on an issue that must be addressed. And so I thank you so humbly. I am so proud to be a member of the synagogue, and I've learned so much here, and thank you. Should I leave this here? You're going to take it. All right, thank you. Thank you.
So well deserved. And thank you for all the inspiration you give us. When we started Mitzvah Day 29 years ago, Steve was one of our first captains. So you started humbly there with us and have gone on to achieve great things. And we wish you a mazel tov on your retirement to do more work next month. We are going to continue with the Misha Berach prayer on page 253. This is a prayer for healing and wholeness for all kinds of illness. Those who are spiritually ill, mentally ill, physically ill. So if you yourself are in need of a prayer or you have a loved one who's in need of a prayer, I ask you to share that name with us at this time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll turn our prayers to the Misha Berach. Are we singing it, Cantor? No. We're not singing it. Okay, so an abbreviated Misha Berach for us. Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. Praised is God, healer of the sick. Please, God, bring healing to all and free the captives soon. Amen. We continue on page 282 with the Aleinu. I invite you all to please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember friends and family whose yortzites are being observed and whose names have lovingly been inscribed on plaques which are in our alcove of remembrance. We remember Merlin A. Berger, Mark Saul Budgazad, Gary Duboff, Rose Dolberg, John A. Foster, Lena Kipnis, Audrey Koznitsky, Mary Metzke, Jordan Alexander Ressler, Selma Rice, Carl Lewis Sternbaum, and Carl Suskin. And we remember as well friends and family whose yortzites are being observed at this time. Chaim Ben Yosef Halevi, Raul Casares, Bernard Edelstein, Sonia Feartag, Barbara Friedman, Max Ginsberg, Marilyn Goldman, Bruce Gora, Donald Hoffman, Leo Jacobson, Erwin Jacobson, Sherry Jonap, Tanya Krill, Lilian Livovich, Marty Lundy, Edward Ostrov, Al Ostrov, Irene Panizzi, Morris Pomerantz, Gershon Rappaport, Shirley Robbins, David Rosenstein, I. David Samuels, Sylvia Steele, George Sugarman, Gerald Warren, Mark M. Weiss, Bryna Wise, Dorothy Young, and Stephen Zarin. And we remember friends and family who died in recent days, and their families remain in the Shloshim of mourning, in the 30-day period of mourning. We remember Donna Blaustein, James Kapora, Robert Goldstein, Bobby Raskin, David Block, Nicholas Beland, Safira Linden. We remember as well Zamir Burak, an Israeli soldier who died this week, and 2 hostages that were that have died, Itai Shvirisky and Omer Nutra. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of all the righteous in our lives be a blessing. And if there's a name that I haven't mentioned, you're saying Kaddish, or a name I have mentioned and you'd like to mention the name as well, I ask you to please rise and say those names out loud, and please remain standing as we're going to join for Kaddish all together. So if there's any other names. Thank you. Thank you. We rise and with one voice recite words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirute, bi'amlich malchute, b'chaye chon v'yom echon, uv'chaye t'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kari v'yimru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei d'kudusha b'richu. Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yimru. Amen. Yehei shlam araba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru. Amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all of you who mourn, comfort all who are bereaved, and send healing to all who are saddened, as together we say, Amen. Please be seated, except for Michaela, who is going to share announcements and greetings on behalf of the congregation.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And Mazel Tov to Nora on your Bat Mitzvah tomorrow. You're going to be amazing. And also Mazel Tov to George Steve Leifman on receiving the Dr. Solomon and Muriel Lichter Rodev Tzedek Award. As the rabbi said, my name is Michaela Gadman. I'm the co-president of Sisterhood. And I would like to highlight the following. Tomorrow, Saturday, December the 7th, 9:30 a.m. Torah study, followed by Shabbat morning at 10:30. 10 a.m. Tat Shabbat, 12 o'clock, Sisterhood, no sew blankets. We still have spots available. 12:15, Bioethics, What Do I Do? With Rabbi Claudio Kogan in personally. 4:30 p.m., Nora's Bat Mitzvah. Monday, December the 9th at 7 p.m., Israel 1974-1975, 50-year retrospective with Mark via Zoom. December the 10th, 6:30 p.m., Kavanagh Council mindfulness meditation in person and via Zoom. And also, save the date, Sunday, December the 15th at 4 p.m., it's Cantors Concert celebrating Jewish German composers and featuring community cantors and a professional quartet. check out the website for tickets and more information. Also, please check our website at www.tbsmb.org to learn more about temple activities and also how to support Israel during this tragedy. Shabbat Shalom.
I guess it's me. We're going to conclude with a little bit of singing. Cantor, what are we going to sing?
We're singing Gesher Tzar Me'od, which
Gesher-
can be found on page
339.
339.
Let's all rise and let's sing Gesher Tzar Ma'od.
כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, גשר צר מאוד. והעיקר לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר לא לפחד, לא לפחד כלל. והעיקר לא לפחד כלל. לילה 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everyone joining us online. Shabbat Shalom.